I have taken the position that pork barrel should be abolished for all members of Congress. Lahat na, ihinto. It should not be left to the individual senator or representative to waive his pork barrel. Because the money will simply go either to his colleagues, yung kapwa niyang senador, papartihan nila yan eh. Pag sinabi mo ayaw ko yung akin, hatiin nila. Or to other corrupt bureaucrats. Malay mo, hindi na pupunta yan, hindi nakawin din niya. Hence, it is necessary not only to waive the pork barrel system, but the pork barrel individually, but also to abolish the entire pork barrel system. Kasi, ang pork barrel, walang kinalaman sa pagpairal ng mga panukalang batas, di ba? Tumakbo kami para pag-aralan namin ang mga panukalang batas. Eh kung gusto nila mamigay pala sila ng mga gamot daw, dahil pag-uwi daw sila sa constituencies nila, hiningan sila ng gamot, ay di mag-pharmacist siya, o kaya mag-caterer siya, dahil magpakain lang siya, ang relasyon dun sa pasigalo. Pagkatapos pa, mamaya ang NGO. The Supreme Court in the 1994 case of Vilcapsa versus Enriquez upheld the constitutionality of the pork barrel, at that time called the Countrywide Development Fund. Someone went to question it long ago. The Supreme Court said it's constitutional. As a student of constitutional law, I believe that it's time for the Supreme Court to revisit this problem. That's what lawyers say when they mean, let us change our mind, revisit the problem. We have had too many years of rapacious experience with pork barrel abuses to continue to ignore that corruption is embedded in the system. Kasama yan. Hindi mo talaga mainto na yan, nandyan na yan. Tumatakbo silang senador, congressman, para lang sa pork barrel. Ba't akala nyo handa silang magsilbi? Hindi. Gusto nila, bawiin nilang ginastos nila sa halalan. Kasi mahal mamimili ka ng boto, hindi ka naman gusto ng tao. Bilhin mo ang boto, nila mangutang ka pa. Pagkatapos kung naupo ka na, nakaw ka ng nakaw, para mabawi mo ang pinagkapital mo at may tubo ka pa. Galing yan sa pork barrel. That is how our system works. That is why I'm now the object of malicious attacks, always anonymous or in the name of anonymous people, because I'm so squarely against pork barrel. Wala tayong kapala dyan. Lalo na itong ghost NGO na ito. Ang pork barrel, halimbawa, no, may 200 million every year ang senador. At least, most senators will get at least 10%. Di 20 million yun every year. Pero hindi lang yun. Merong 30, merong 50%. Pero may natatanggap naman ang publiko. Halimbawa mo, may inutusan siya kagawa ng daan. Unang bagyo pa lang, puno na ng, how do you say in Tagalog, potholes. Dahil, tinitipid nila, pero may natanggap tayo, di ba? Sa fake NGO, wala talagang natatanggap. Hinahati talaga. Hindi lang 10%, 20 or 50%. Hati talaga. Itong senador at yung NGO na binigyan niya, dalawa lang sila, hatian nila. That is how pork barrel system works. Kaya ngayon, ang makalaban ko, mas maraming pera sa akin. Kasi sila nagnanakaw at ako hindi. O, susukulan nila ngayon ang media. Susukulan nila ang media, sanay na ako dyan, siraan na yan. Itatanong ko nga sa mga kalaban ko, lalo na yung matanda na yon. He's already 100 years old. At he pretends he's 90 years old. Bakit? Sila ba'y binigyan ng Magsaysay Award for Government Service? It is implanted in my brain for bold and moral courage in cleaning up a corrupt governmental agency. O sila meron ganon? E bakit ako ngayon ang corrupt daw, according to them? Pagkatapos, meron ba silang karangalan binigay sa ating bansa? Biro mo sa buong bansa na ito with about 98 states, with about 7 billion people, may elect ng isang Pilipino na judge of the International Criminal Court. The first time in the history of that court. Pagkatapos, sisiraan nila ako, ay tumigil nga kayo mga matanda kayo. I just breathe on them. They'll fall to the floor. Ganun ganyan ang katawan nila. Pero maisip nila, aktibo. Yes, if you look at their biodatas, hindi naman pala nag-graduate ng cum laude or magna cum laude. Grabe naman itong mga politiko na ito. Pag nakakita ka ng politiko, huwag mo nang kausapin, suntukin mo. Some of the defenders of pork barrel claim that if administered properly, it will result in so-called distributive justice, meaning that money will go to the poor who most urgently need it. Yan ang rason nila eh. Kasi kung namimigay tayo ng pera sa budget, kung minsan din natin matuklasan na kailangan pala ng isang munisipyo ang daan, dahil ang padaan ng mga maliliit na bata papunta ng eskwela. Yung mga klaseng maliliit na gastos na yan. Kaya dapat may pork barrel kami. But that was the dream. As it turned out, the dream has been exploded by the money culture of corrupt politicians. Yun ang problema eh. Pinaka-Diyos natin ang pera. I want to tell them, so, like me. I hope the Supreme Court will take heed of the words of wisdom from Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes Jr., who said in one of his famous aphorisms, itong si Justice Wendell Holmes na ito, iduro ito ng UP College of Law. He said, the life of the law has not been logic, it has been experience. Sa karanasan natin, ano bang napatunay tungkol sa pork barrel? Pag-uwi tayo sa ating mga distrito, ano bang narinig natin sa ating mga kapitbahay? Wala silang natatanggap. Kaya ganito yon. Nag-umpisa ito sa ating sistemang panghalal. Meron tayong taxpayers, no? Naghanap buhay sila, nagbabayad sila ng buwis. Meron tayong hindi nagbabayad ng buwis dahil napakahirap nila. Kaya itong mga hindi nagbabayad, mas marami ng sa taxpayers. Itong mga hindi taxpayers, konti lang, bilhin mo. Maski anong konting pera bigay mo, puputo ka nila kagad. Kaya nangyayari, itong mga people who not pay taxes will determine ngayon who will be the leaders of the entire country because abutin nila ang mga taxpayers. That system has to be changed. Halimbawa, kung dito rin lang sa Pilipinas, kayo na lang kaya bumuto dahil mga student leaders, kaya idealistic pa kayo. Bakit pa tayo maghahanap ng ibang botante na binibenta ang mga boto nila? O kaya nakuputan sila ng tumatakbo? O kaya kursunada niya sa telebisyon? Anong klase yun? We have to examine the premises of our democracy. Today, people throughout the archipelago, cutting across the various economic classes, are rising in colossal outrage against the pork barrel sinkhole, which has swallowed up 10 billion, as in baboy talaga, 10 billion of taxpayers' money. It now appears that at least 3 senators, not to speak of over 20 representatives, have been giving the pork barrel funds, not to the government departments. That's what the law says. Kung may pork barrel ka, ibigay mo sa departamento ng gobyerno. So you give it to, let's say, Department of Public Works, Department of Social Welfare, at bahala na sila ngayon kung anong paraan ang gagawin nila dun sa pera mo. Wala kang pakialam. In theory, ganun yung pork barrel dapat. You give it to a government agency or to a local government unit, at sila ngayon ang mananakot kung paano nagastos yung perang pinigay mo. They do not give their funds to government departments as directed by law, but to non-government organizations that do not exist. Biro mo, itong poster girl of NGOs, nakakulong ngayon. Biro mo, dinero lang niya, pinapipirma niya na presidente ng fake NGO niya, kadinera, kusinera, katulong, naging presidente sila ng mga NGO. Paano nangyari yan na hindi kasabwat ang mga senador at ang mga congressman? My humble opinion on the controversy, whether pork barrel can be given to NGOs is that the budget law allows public funds to be transferred to NGOs. Pero ganong provision. However, the procedure provided by law has been deliberately ignored, and therefore the transfer of public funds to NGOs has been illegal for the following reasons. First, the transfer of pork barrel funds to NGOs do not appear to follow the rules defined under RA number 9184, also known as the Government Procurement Reform Act. May batas yan eh. More specifically, the transfer of funds appear to have failed to follow the rules. Under a resolution of the Government Procurement and Policy Board, which is now a provision of the implementing rules and regulations of the Government Procurement Act. Second, the NGOs have miserably failed to comply with the requirement that the NGO should have an established track record of service delivery and should be financially stable. It appears that there is no compliance with the rule requiring the submission of, quote, audited financial statements for the past 3 years, stamped, received by the BIR, or is duly accredited and authorized institutions for the immediately preceding current year, showing, among others, its total and current assets and liabilities. Kaya, sa tingin ko bilang abogado, pwede ka nga magbigay ng pera sa NGO, pero may kondisyon yan. Una, dapat by public bidding or by negotiated procurement. That is a provision of the Government Procurement Act. Basta gumastos ka ng pera ng gobyerno, it should always be by public bidding or by negotiated procurement. Oh, wala silang ganun. Pangalawa, dapat may affidavits or other statements na lahat na binigay mo noon sa NGO na yan ay na-liquidate niya, napaliwanag niya. Liquidating a fund means you submit all the receipts, napaliwanag mo where every peso went. Hindi nila ginawa. Basta bigay lang sila ng bigay sa NGO. Pork barrel is a special purpose fund. In my humble opinion, the general provisions of the budget. Ang budget kasi makapal, parang phone book. Doon sa likod, meron siyang general provisions. The general provisions of the budget apply both to the special purpose funds and to the regular budgets of line departments, yung cabinet departments. However, we are talking about what is called the general provision on the limitation on transfer of funds to NGOs. It is intended, therefore, to impose limitations, kaya title niya, general provision to the limitations on transfer of funds to NGOs. So the purpose of the law is to limit it, it's not to facilitate it. Allow me to emphasize this important principle, which in my text distributed to the media appears in boldface. The funds, whether from PDAF or other sources of appropriations, are always released to an implementing agency. Hindi ka gagastos nun. I-release mo to an implementing agency, which is a department, an agency, or a local government unit, and never to an NGO directly. The choice of the NGO, if you follow the law, is subject to competitive bidding or through negotiated procurement. Hindi mo lang sukat ibigay yan. Magpa-public bidding muna itong mga NGO na ito. The choice of the NGO is the responsibility of the agency head, of the secretary of that department. Sila mamili, hindi ang senador. Not the senator or congressman, even in the case of PDAF or other off-budget funds. Ngayon, paano sila kumikita? Una, hindi na sinusunod ang batas. And I will explain to you, kung gusto mo senador, congressman, at gusto mong maging corrupt, at tatakingin ka ng mga tao kamukha ko. Ganito, the lawmaker makes his ill-gotten wealth usually by choosing the supplier of the service contract or the contractor of the supply contract. Siya namimili ng contractor. Wala kang pakialam. Dapat sabihin na niya, I give 20 or I give 50 million to the Department of Social Welfare for this kind of a project. Milk feeding program. O, bahala na si SWD. Dahil wala naman kami pakialam kung paano nila gastusin yan. Sila ngayon ang mananagot. Pero naging ugali ito, and this is completely illegal. To prevent corruption, it is the responsibility of the agency head, normally the department secretary, to advise the lawmaker that choosing a contractor violates the rules of the Government Reform Act. Diyan sila kumikita dahil gumagawa sila ng pinagbabawal ng gobyerno. Pag sinabi nila pupunta itong pera na ito sa departamento ng gobyerno, pupuntahan nila yung Secretary of Department at sasabihin, oh, ito, bibigyan kayo ng pera sa aking pork barrel, pero ako mamili sino ang contractor. See? Yan. Kasi sa contractor, mag-usap silang dalawa ng senador ng congressman kung magkano komisyon nilang pareho. Usually, ganito yon. Ang senator ng congressman will get 50% of the pork barrel. And then, ito naman sa contractor, babayaran pa niyang engineer para huwag naman din sila magsalita. Engineer, kung ano pa. Kaya, suma total, 50% will go to the senator or the congressman, and 30% will go to the contractor, and that's 50 plus 30, no? So that's 80%, right? So what we'll get will be 20%. Ganon yun. Ganon sila papayaman. Choosing the contractor is illegal. Dapat ganon. Yan ang ginagawa nila lahat. Sila ang namimili ng contractor. When the lawmaker chooses the contractor, that is a crime and a dead giveaway of the lawmaker's malicious intent to get kickbacks. Pakialam mo kung sino contractor. Basta gusto mong pera, mapunta doon sa mahirap, hindi ba? Ganon daw ang layunin yan. Eh bakit hindi ko punta sa tao? Kasi nga, lalagyan nila ng contractor nila. Janet Lim Napoles and her ilk have failed to obey the conditions of the 2012 budget on the rules and use of funds. I quote the following. This is what the budget provides. Section 72. What na lang mahaba? Basta it said, bibigay mo lang yung pork barrel sa NGO kung yung NGO nag-report ang lahat at tanggap niya sa nakaraan, na-liquidate niya, o napaliwanag niya, na-kompleto niya mga resibo. Saka mo pa lang bigyan niyan. Eh bakit dito sa mga skandalo na ito, tuloy-tuloy lang. Wala lang ganun. The Napoles NGOs and similar syndicated criminal NGOs did not fully liquidate, meaning explain, their earlier fund releases before they availed of new fund transfers from the pork barrel funds. It appears that, contrary to the budget requirement, because the budget is a law, the Senate Committee on Finance did not receive reports on the final releases of the NGOs prepared by the government agency concerned and duly audited by the COA. Meron ganun requirement eh. Under the budget requirement, it is the responsibility of the government agency head to require COA audit. Tapos ito pang kalokohan na ito. Hulaan niyo kung sino itong kontrabida na ito. In 2013, this year, Congress amended the budget, specifically one general provision section 72, entitled Requirement on Fund Transfer to Civil Society Organizations, including NGOs. This new amended provision now allows NGOs, which the budget calls civil society organizations, to receive subsequent fund transfers when earlier fund releases, if any, have been fully liquidated, and here is the mischief. At least 70% of the latest fund transfer availed of by CSO shall have been liquidated. Kaya noon, i-liquidate mo na lahat na perang binigay namin sa iyo, saka ka-qualify sa public bidding. Ngayon, 70% na lang i-liquidate mo. I bet best friend ito na Napoles. This provision weakened the compliance requirement, which used to require full liquidation prior to future releases of funds. By introducing the amendment, certain crooks in Congress inserted a phrase that allowed fake NGOs to get more and more pork barrel funds without even liquidating all prior pork barrel funds that they had obtained. Ngayon, itong masaya. Kukwento ko sa inyo, anong mangyayari dito sa mga senators and congressmen. Ang tapang-tapang ng mga loob. Dahil lang sa marami silang pera, pasisira nila ang lumalaban sa kanila. Unang-una na ako. Sige, pasiraan niyo ako. Let's have a fight to the death. Throw your laser beams at me. Vaporize me. I will wear a bulletproof vest and it will bounce off my chest. Ngayon. Ako pa. Kung mga tao ito, tawa na lang, takot na sila. There is an existing agency to investigate corruption. It is called the Interagency Anti-Graft Coordinating Council, and it has 8 members led by 3 agencies, the Secretary of Justice, the Ombudsman, and the COA chairperson. They promised a report very soon. Malapit na. Malapit na. Ilalabas na yung report ng mga whistleblowers dahil lahat sila nagpuntahan sa NBI, gumawa ng mga affidavit, nagpakita ng mga ebidensya, mga notebook kung saan nakalista. Lahat ng pag-ari ng Napoles, lahat ng mga senador, mga congressmen, nagbigay ng pera sa kanya. Ngayon, ano ngayon ang mangyayari pagkatapos niyan? These 3 members or leaders of that interagency council will call the state prosecutors. Ito na ang affidavit. Mag-conduct ka ng preliminary investigation. Kasi ang kaso, ganito. Halimbawa mo, may aksidente sa pulis, no? May aksidente na nakita ng pulis. Report ka o binanggaan yung sasakyan ko. That's the start of that case, no? Then the policeman will make a report to the fiscal. May kasalanan itong si Kaliwa. Dahil siya nagbangga kay kanan, gano'n, no? And then, the fiscal will call the 2 of you. Give me your affidavit. Give me your counter affidavit. And on that basis, the fiscal will say, no, I will file this case in court, or yes, I will dismiss this case. Dahil inosente ka pala. Ngayon, that's called preliminary investigation. I-ready ng affidavit ng prosecution. Kaya all we need is the counter affidavit of the senators and congressmen. That is called the preliminary investigation. And under the law, it has to be finished within 1 month. Ngayon, in criminal law, there is a general rule called the Penal Code, and there are various special laws. Merong general law, and then merong special law, each with its own set of rules. Ba't kasi hindi kayo kumuha ng law? Ba't HR naman yun? Anak ko na. One of these special laws, which have their own set of rules, is RA number 7086, also known as the 1991 Anti-Plunder Act. It provides that any public officer facing criminal prosecution that is pending in court shall be suspended from office. Aba, iba pala ito, Anti-Plunder Act. Pagkasampa ng kaso galing sa fiscal, papunta pa lang sa korte, pag oras na sinampa pa lang sa korte, suspendido na ang senador at congressman. That will be a glorious day. Within 30 days, suspendido na mga kalaban ko. That's what the law says. Para nila malaman, kasi hindi nababasa eh. Kita mo, nahuli yung isa, nag-gamer pala siya, nasa Senado kuwari, pero nagkalaro pala sa tablet niya. Hindi niya alam yun eh. Once the case is filed in court, the first thing that the judge will do will be to conduct a so-called bail hearing. Normally, pag akusado ka sa korte, kagad ka automatically entitled to bail, the right to bail. No? Pero sa plunder, wala kang right to bail. First, the judge has to hold a public hearing. Then you present evidence, both the prosecution or the prosecutor and the accused. If the evidence of guilt is strong, then the judge will deny bail. Hindi ka pa nagbistahan. Kaya, nasuspendido ka na sa Kongreso, so umpisa pa lang ng kaso, wala kang bail, makukulong ka. Yes, there is a God after all. The law defines plunder as the acquisition of ill-gotten wealth, in the total value of at least 75 billion pesos. Kung merong 75 billion ang isa sa inyo dito, you are in danger of being prosecuted for plunder. So, pangmaramihan talagang nakawa nito. It is committed both by the public officer and by any person who participated with him. Plunder is punished by life imprisonment. Usually people make a mistake. Akala nila sa penal code, I told you no, may penal code, may special law. Akala nila sa penal code, this is the crime punishable by so-called reclusion perpetua, which is interpreted by the courts to mean 30 years. So pag noon, murder, homicide, rape, reclusion perpetua ka. Meaning to say you have to go to jail for 30 years. But life imprisonment is different. Life imprisonment means your entire life. Mamatay ka sa preso. Ganon yun. Kaya pag nakita ko yung mga senador na yun, pag pumalik na ko sa senador, sabihin ko yung may mga kasalanan. Maghanda ka ng kaluluwa mo. Plunder is punished by life imprisonment and perpetual disqualification from holding any public office. In the imposition of penalties, the degree of participation and attendance of mitigating and extenuating circumstances shall be considered by the court. May parusa na pinapataw sa bawat krimen. Pero you are allowed also to prove, for example, if you slapped somebody, that there was a mitigating circumstance of sufficient provocation. Kaya mo sinampal, that is slander by deed. That's a crime. Because, how do you say, ina-aggravate ka niya. That's mitigating. Or sometimes there's an aggravating circumstance. If you're drunk, for example, that's aggravating. So, for example, itong favorite kong kalaban. For example, if the accused is over 70 years old, his age will be considered a mitigating circumstance. Kaya, dapat makulong siya habang buhay, pero maybe we can deduct 10 years. Kung 100 na siya, maybe at 90 can go. In the case of a convict who is at least 70 years old, he can apply with President Aquino for pardon on the ground that his continued imprisonment will be difficult to his health. Otherwise, the penalty for life imprisonment does not appear to have any definite extent or duration. When last December 2012, I exposed the odious abuses of the Senate President pork barrel. E biro mo, nabigay ba naman sa Senate President pork barrel ng Christmas present sa bawat senador ng 2 million pesos. 2 milyon. Pera yan ng gobyerno, hindi niya pera yun. Christmas gift daw niya. Pero hindi niya kami binigyan ng kalaban, yung una na ako. Tapos, nalagay sa media, kaya binibigyan niya ako ng 250,000. 2 million pinamigay niya sa lahat. Ako gusto niya bigyan ng 250,000. Pinabalik ko. Dahil kako, kung biskwit ko nga yung panaderya ni Molo from Iloilo, binalik mo, di balik ko pera mo. Oh, yun ang pinakumpisa ng pork barrel na yan. Galit na galit sa akin. I expressed the odious abuses of the Senate President's pork barrel. He and his equally vicious ally, a former policeman, could not even answer me on the issues of the pork barrel. But together they've been trying to flagellate me. You know when Jesus got whipped with leather? That was flagellation. The both of them have been trying to flagellate me with personal insults. What is the rule? English 101 on debate. Debate only on the issues, never debate on personalities. O, pero sila, dahil hindi nga masagot ang sinasabi ko, personal na ngayon ang mga insulto nila. Na puro galing sa mga patakbuhin ng mga members of the illegitimate media. Kung may pera ka kasi, pwede kang makupa. You can bribe these journalists for sale para maninira, mamuri sa iyo. Because both of my enemies are non-educable. They refuse to debate on principles, choosing instead to attack me with personalities, and refuse to let the truth get in the way of their scurrilous efforts to destroy me. Napipiko na ako, ha? Just last Friday, September 6, the online version of a popular newspaper carried the latest in a series of suspicious articles purporting to be news reports and carrying the bylines of members of the corrupt media. The story twisted the facts to make it appear that I am implicated in the pork barrel scam. Tiabe. Fortunately, my staff called the management of the newspaper because it had virtually no evidence, no evidence whatsoever. Basta sulat siya ng sulat na si Miriam is guilty of this, that. And the fake story was promptly deleted from the internet. These stories, which very obviously engage in character assassination against me, can only be funded by my arch enemy. He is a man who has grown so old in government corruption that I believe he was already a waiter during the Last Supper. Naalala niyo yung Last Supper? Nasa bahay ng mga Pilipino? That was painted by Da Vinci. I went to Milan in Italy just to take a look because it's fading now. It's a mural and it's fading. Central Chapel. Ngayon, tinignan ko mabuti. Iniisip ko ngayon, nalala ko ngayon, nang tinignan ko yung Last Supper by Da Vinci na yon sa Milan, Italy. Nandun ba ang kalaban ko? Dahil mukhang nandun siya eh. Ganun siya katanda. I challenge him to public debate. Gusto niya, debate kami ngayon din. Stay here in Manila. At mag-debate kami, ayaw niya. Walang kaimik-imik. Instead, he has chosen to go underground by hiring media hacks to invent stories against me. I will not answer their cheap lies. Bakit ko sasagutin yung paninira na yan? Instead, I dedicate to my enemies this poem. I am rubber, you are glue. Whatever you say bounces off me and sticks to you. My advice to this old man is, get a sex life. Ang problema mo eh. Tanda niya yan kasi eh. Seryoso na ako ngayon. As a citizen of our republic, like you, I demand justice. Justice! And I demand justice now. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Now. Justice delayed, justice denied. Let justice be done, though the heavens fall, or in today's words, even if the whole world perishes. The scandal will be one of the most blood-curdling crimes in Philippine political history. It should be known as Enrile Gate. If we allow the pork barrel scandal merely to agitate our passions, and then we allow it to dissipate into a whitewash by most imperatives, only a little people, that would be a travesty of justice. We have now reached a point of political epiphany when we accept that we have allowed the crooks in Congress to fool all of the Filipino people all of the time, until now. If we allow this anti-graft momentum to fade, we lose all hope of good governance. Paano ba tayo mag-good governance? Eh kung mga nagnanakaw na ang dami-dami eyewitnesses, nakakupok ngayon sa NBI, nagtitistigo as eyewitnesses nakita nila mismo. May ebidensya pa. But if we do as justice demands, as the Bible says, goodness and kindness will follow the Filipino people all the days of our lives. The years of feasting and gorging on the pork barrel bonanza by the crooks are over. It is so over. Now, life is proving once again that crime does not pay. That is why, kung wala silang magawa, mag-hotel restaurant management na lang sila. Tumigil na sila sa pork barrel nila. That is why I continue to fight these porcine, unctuous, villainous, evil people. As a laureate of the Magsaysay Award for Government Service, I continue to fight back because as the poet said, I shall not pass this way again. Baka matuloy ako sa ICC. Baka hindi tayo magkita ulit. So I have to listen to the poet who said, I shall not pass this way again. Through this toilsome world, alas, once and only once I pass. If a kindness I may show, if a good deed I may do, to a suffering fellow man, let me do it what I can. No delay, for it is plain, I shall not pass this way again. Thank you very much.